Welcome back to Equity TV. I'm Francis Mayer, and Equity TV is a production of Bakersfield College, your community college, since 1913. Well, actually, a little bit longer than that. And we have an incredible history, and part of that history comes in the shape of fun things like this. This pigeon, this used to be an award that was given out actually to the office that decorated best during homecoming. And this pigeon, I don't know if you can see that there, it's very, very beautiful. And he's very durable, like coo coo, and he has BC painted here on his chest. And if you see on the bottom there, there's some names of some different departments that won this award. And then it disappeared for a few years, and then an anonymous person turned it back into Jerry Ludicky at the Bakersfield College Archives, and now we have this piece of history back, and we are glad to have it. I'm not going to let anybody have it again, though. And we have another person from history. Caren, good morning. Introduce yourself, please.
It is a good morning. My name is Caren Floyd.
And Caren, you went to Bakersfield College a while ago, didn't you?
I did.
And tell me about that. How did you come to attend Bakersfield College?
Okay. I married at a very young age.
Okay.
So I want to put that out front. I married at the age of 17. However, I always had a love for school. So therefore, I chose to return to Bakersfield College at night. And so every semester.
And you were a married woman.
I was a married woman at 17. I was a wife and mother during the day. And at night, I went to school.
Wow.
Yeah. So I took one class per semester for many, many years at Bakersfield College because I loved learning. Yet I didn't have a clear career path at that time. I just knew I wanted to continue my education as a young mom.
Well, and you didn't have a wide open schedule.
No, I didn't. But it worked for my family. It worked specifically for me to have that opportunity to interact with students and staff during those evening classes. So about 1990, please don't laugh.
I'm not. Why would I laugh?
About 1980, I decided I wanted to be a teacher.
That is incredible.
Yeah, so I'm an attendance clerk at Highland High School at this time.
Okay.
And I decide I want to go to school to get my teaching credentials. So that it was at that point that I went into a counselor at Bakersfield College and told my story. And most amazing person, like, wow, started looking at my records and said, you have all of these units. And so many of them are transferable to Cal State. We've got to get you to Cal State Bakersfield right away. So that particular counselor just guided me through the process, and the next thing I knew, I was at Cal State Bakersfield.
But you persisted until you succeeded. You had some, I don't want to call them obstacles. You had a life. You were married.
Yeah.
You were a mom. You made a commitment to being a parent and raising your children. And then on the flip side of it, you also pursued your dream slowly. And I think too often people feel like if I can't do it all now, I might as well not do it at all. But you didn't have that attitude.
Right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, you built your castle one brick at a time.
I did.
And as you
Yeah.
could afford it, time-wise and financially.
Yeah. Now, I was probably teased a little bit. I worked as an instructional assistant also at Bakersfield High School during this period of time. And so I had some of my peers saying, "You're still going to school?" And I say, "Yes, I like school, so yes, I'm going." And they were kind of like, "Why? What's that all about?" But I just saw it as a way to continue to grow myself.
Right, and you took a path less traveled, and far too often
Definitely.
people feel insecure about doing things differently, about trying to do something a different way. And BC is not going anywhere. BC has been around for well over a century. It's one of the oldest community colleges in the country, and you don't have to get it all in real quick. And I am incredibly touched by the fact that you did not give up on your dream, and then you had built, you had these bricks stored essentially to build your castle with by taking that one class every semester. You just chipped away at it. Yes. And I'm not even going to venture to guess your age. You're aging very well, but it sounds like you've lived quite a few lifetimes. I mean, you've made the most of your time.
I have, as I reflect. I've been extremely blessed. First, I had this experience at Bakersfield College, someone guiding me like I said, to Cal State Bakersfield, where I met Dr. Carl Miller, who guided me through that process and refused to let me stop until I had a doctor of philosophy and education from Claremont Graduate School. So what can I say
So
to
you're
Bakersfield?
so you're Dr. Caren.
I'm Dr. Caren. Yes, yes. I'm extremely blessed because, again, as I look back, I can see all the various persons who helped me to reach that goal. And I had no intention of that. Remember, I said in 1962 I married. 1968 I'm at BC,
And that was
I
a
just
d-
keep
that,
plugging away.
and that was a different world in 1962.
Oh, definitely.
That was prior to the passage of the Civil Rights Bill. Either of them.
Well,
or one of
yes.
them,
Well,
yeah.
in 1960 we have the Brown versus the Board of Education.
Right, but you've been a passenger here for history, and you've
Yes.
watched the world change
Yes.
and
Yes.
hopefully become a better place.
Yes. And what I find interesting is so many of the young people who look at me today, they just see you where you are today. Oh, that's Caren Floyd, involved in the community. If you want to know what's going on in the Bakersfield community, call Caren. We'd like to have her at our event. Oftentimes, we do not stop the way we're doing today and reflect and look from whence we came. And so I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Wow. You absolutely remember when you weren't that person, when you weren't totally
Exactly.
plugged in.
Yeah.
And
It's been a long haul. Lots of stories, lots of memories.
how long did it take you to get your PhD, just to inspire people? How much time did you put into it? So starting in, 1967?
If we go that far back, if you just
Sure.
take the time at Claremont Graduate School, I was there from 89 to 95. So it took me approximately 6 years to get that doctorate from Claremont. However, my professor said that was too fast, that you should take the average route, which is 10 years, to really glean from that program. So I apologize, but anyway, mine was 6 years. But again, if you add BC to that journey, then you're absolutely right. Wow, I hadn't thought about it
No,
from
but-
that perspective.
But if there is a mom out there who feels like there's more to life than
Yes.
doing laundry,
You can do it.
but she doesn't have to take 12 units a semester.
No.
You could just
no.
take that one class.
That one class, I'm telling you the truth. It was one class per semester until I decided it was time to move on to. I finally said, I'm going to be that teacher.
And where was your personal life at that point? Were your children old enough to where?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
you put in your time with them. You waited until they were old enough to
Yes.
make a sandwich or what have you.
Yes, even more so. In 1980, when I made that decision, my oldest son was graduate. He was a senior at Bakersfield High School.
Oh wow!
Yes, yes.
Are they surprised that mom has done what she has?
They're surprised and quite pleased
Oh, good for
about
them.
what mom decided to do. And in my own way, I have used that information, that knowledge, the best I could in sharing with others. So again, that's why today is so important to me, to let students know you can do it. I know you can. I did it. And it was just step by step, and I had no idea clearly what I was doing at that time. I just knew I needed to be in the schoolhouse, even after making that decision at 17 to marry. That's the only thing I knew, Branson.
No, it's just it's amazing to me because on this show we've talked to a lot of people and we've dispelled a lot of myths and excuses that people have for not pursuing their education. But this is really a first for me to hear someone who persevered almost 50 years now in education and in helping people, and now you're important in the community and helping people out and sharing your story. But yeah, I really hope that the person out there, whether they're a mom or whether they're a male who's stuck in a job that they're not crazy about, or they feel like they have potential beyond that, you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to blow up your life. School will fit in. You made it fit in.
It really will. And I should say two things. One, in regard to my parents, that has to be the motivating force. The fact that my mom married very young, only went to the third grade as far as formal education. My dad did graduate from high school. And even though they did not tell us every day you're going to school, you will do your homework, they role modeled that. And so I can see that clearly now at this point in my life, that that was my inspiration, again, that I continued to educate myself. I'll hold my second point for right now, but I wanted to plug my parents. No, I think I'll go on with my second
Okay, go
point.
ahead, go ahead.
My second point is that from that classroom teacher, well, actually, we could go back to when I was an instructional assistant at Bakersfield High School.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
the attendance clerk at Highland High School.
You made all these stops, but give me your second point. Not just about your parents, but you said you were going to hold off. Go ahead, please tell me.
Well, it was really about this journey from the instructional assistant for 10 years, the attendance clerk for 2.5 years, the classroom teacher for 12 years, and then school administration for 7 years. I mean, that's quite a journey, isn't it?
No, it's an absolutely epic journey. You're not a flighty person. It's not like you made little pit stops here and little pit stops there, and then we're like, I think I'll take out some student loans and get a PhD from a mail order college. No, you went to Claremont McKenna. That counts. You've had an absolutely fascinating journey, and it's inspirational. I'm 37, and I feel like I'm on the back nine of life, but you are making me feel like an idiot for feeling that way. Like my journey has barely started.
You just started.
And I could go back to school and get a PhD if I want to.
Exactly.
Wow. Caren, you have been an
Yes.
absolute inspiration. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I know you're a busy woman, and that we're lucky to have your time, and I hope we can have you on again. Caren, you've been an inspiration. Thank you.
I thank you very much for this opportunity.
And there you go. She started school in the 60s, and it was a different, several presidents later when she got her PhD. But you cannot give up, and you can start small, okay? When we come back on Equity TV, we're going to speak with Primavera Arvizu, the Director of Financial Aid. She's the person who cuts the checks. Plus, we'll check in with Christine Din for some Renegade News reports. All that and more coming up on Equity TV.